Hi friends, Tiffany here. Welcome to my quilting life. It is Friday the 13th. So just because it's Friday the 13th means I'm going to work on some Halloween fabric. Just because I can. Even though Friday the 13th is not in October, I can pre-make some Halloween related items like wallets. So if you're new to my channel, subscribe, like, share my videos with your quilty friends. And yeah, I'm just bored. That's the truth. I was bored. I was laying in bed. I was binge watching Grey's Anatomy, which is almost over where I'm at now. And I'm like, then I loaded the long arm and I was like, I don't really want to stand to quilt, so I might as well just sit down and do something because I'm bored. So I settled on Halloween fabric, wallet, sitting down.
Since Becca's not on, you thought it'd be a good idea.
Yeah. So, anyway, yeah. And since Becca posted that she's not going to be on, so Becca, if you guys know tonight, I figured why not? She's not on, so I might as well do something because normally I'd be watching her video. So I figure I'll just make my own. So instead of being distracted by watching her video and sewing, I actually can sew and hang out with you guys at the same time.
Says, yay, Halloween.
So I got this stuff. I got in total 6 boxes of these. I don't want to drop all this. You guys already knew what they were, but in total I had 6 of the mystery boxes with the 10 fat quarters. They were sent to me in hopes that I would win, but I didn't. Anyway, so they had lots of fat quarter. Obviously, you guys know they all had 10 fat quarters, random fat quarters in each box. So, in one of the boxes, actually, yeah, no, like 2 of them, they were split though, had Halloween, and the cool part is it glows in the dark. Oh yeah. So not just this piece glows in the dark, but and these ones I already had right here, but this one with the webs glows in the dark as well. And Scott didn't think so until we actually turned the lights off. Oh, look, that one does. He figured these ones do. And then this one glows in the dark as well. So this is just
that's awesome.
Smaller version of this one. It's just, this is the more like panel-like and this is more like border-like, you know? And then I already had this and the one with the scaredy cats on it. And I already had, surprisingly, this goes with this. Like it's the same fabric line. It goes together as well as this one. And I've had these over a year. So, yeah. And I have more of this polka dot one, but I don't know where I put the rest of the fat because I had like 3 fat quarters of this. And I don't even know where they went. I dug through, but I only need 1 for a bag and I haven't made up my mind. And then I also have this yardage right here as well. That's been sitting on my shelf, you know, saying, use me, do something with it, you know. So I figured that I can combine, I'm going to make a couple wallets. In this video, I'll probably only get to 1, but I decided with all this Halloween fabric, since I only need a smaller square, an 8 inch by 8 3/4, or no, 8 inch by 8 1/4 inch piece for the outside of the wallet. Technically, I could cut quite a few between the glow and the dark fabrics, you know, and then swap between using this as a lining, this as a lining, this as a lining. The scaredy cats can even be on the outside or a lining, and this is a lining. So I just pulled them all out because they go together. All of this pretty much goes together. And this is from a long time ago. This was given to me like 4 years ago when I went to California to see my friend Michelle. She gave it to me for my birthday. So who knows how long she had it before I have it. So I have it now and I'm going to make something with it. But for the first wallet.
Do you want to say hi to everyone?
Oh, yeah.
People on?
Yeah.
Well,
but while he's bringing it to me, for the first wallet, I am going to start with this one because I really want to like fussy cut out the glow in the dark part right here because I think that'll be cool. All right, let's see who is here. We've got Ben here. Cindy is here. Mary is here. Kim. Mary, glad you come on. Love watching you. Thank you. Lisa is here. Katrina. Ben says I get bored easily also. I tat calligraphy, woodwork, knit socks, quilt, garden stuff, and others. That's awesome. We got Jessica here. Joe is here. Shirley. Paula is here. Billy is here. Love the fabric. Yes, it's really cool. And at the end, when I'm done making the wallet, we'll glow it really brightly as we can by holding it in front of a light, and then I'll have Scott turn the light off, and we'll hold it in front of the camera in hopes that you can see it glowing in the dark. I don't know how well cameras pick glow in the dark up, but I mean, it should be bright enough. Shelly is here. And everyone, such a nice surprise to have you live tonight. Yes, since I noticed Becca and she posted that she wasn't coming on tonight, I just decided to take advantage of it to be live instead of sitting in here by myself making a wallet. I just do it with you guys. Angel is here. Emily is here. Vivian. June is here. Lana. Teresa Louise. Debbie. Lucille from Canada is here. Oops, it's scrolled somehow. Funny. Linda is here. Stormy in Pennsylvania. Vivian said, redoing my sewing room. I would like to know what size table you are sewing on. Vivian, my table is a office desk. It is 72 inches long by 36 inches wide by like 26 or 28 tall. I forgot again because, you know, I don't look at it every day. 28. Yeah, so it's 28 inches tall. And it has drawers only way here on one side on the left. And it took forever for us to find a desk for me that was this sturdy that had left side drawers, not right side drawers, because I don't like them on the right. I want my machine on the right and I want to sit on the right. So this was a hard find, but I found it. So it has lots of space underneath too. Let's see. You guys said hi to June. I said hi to Lucille. Karen is here from Mississippi. Heather is here. It's a daytime in Queensland. Nice to see you again. Okay. All right. So I know some of you probably saw me earlier. I unboxed my mail, and to add to that, we got home and did everything and had lunch and watched TV, and the day went on, and then Scott went outside and the mail came. So I had direct package from my best friend Becca, who sent me a package of scraps, just so you guys know, because I say who it's from with Becca because Becca sends me scraps all the time and you guys know it. But she sent me, there's enough of this matching fabrics in here, like all this is scrap, maybe a couple loose blocks, but there's like a whole stack right here. This is all a quilt that was started and not put together, so I'm gonna complete that. And then this whole bottom section is all blocks for a Mickey Mouse quilt, so I will probably get to that as when I can. Obviously I have lots of stuff going on, but I have a whole entire slew of Mickey Mouse fabrics. I'm gonna make the video even longer if I just showed you guys everything individually, but you could see it's just stuff like this in here. She likes to send me things like this. So, and I do lots of stuff with her scraps. As you guys know, you've seen me long arm a lot of her scrap tops that she's started. So, thank you, Becca, if you watch this later. Even though I already said thank you. So, yeah, let's get to making a wallet. And even though I do have a wallet tutorial and showed you guys how to make one, I will still give you the directions to the wallet as I go. So I think I'm going to start with this as my exterior and this as my interior for the first wallet. So I'm just going to move the other stuff out of the way. For this one, instead of just using interfacing, I want to actually, because I want the glow in the dark to never wrinkle, move, shift, or anything, I'm actually going to quilt it with some scrap cotton. I have some scrap cotton batting. I'm going to quilt it instead of using, well, I am going to use interfacing, but I'm going to quilt it too. I'm going to see what a difference it makes with quilting cotton in the middle. You know what I mean? Because the other ones are not quilting cotton, so they're pretty thin. So I want to see the difference with the quilting cotton. So, all right. So first cut is going to be from my background fabric, and I'm not going to bother pressing it just yet. I'm just going to cut the pieces that I need, and I'm using my brand new Martelli cutter to hold my paper down because the fan keeps blowing it, and I need my instructions to stay in front of me, or else I'll just get lost and confused. So I need a 20 by 8 inch inner wallet.
Hi, Joe.
All right, so I'm going to straighten this piece up and cut a 8-inch cut off of it. We're going to see where this lines up right here. We're going to line it up on the 13, only because today's the 13th.
Sounds good. Friday the
We're going to
13th.
start right here on the 13th, which is within my arm space to reach and make a nice cut. And welcome everybody that's joining. Happy Friday the 13th. Maybe some of you are getting ready to watch or have watched some Friday the 13th movies. I know some people that I used to hang out with years ago, they used to every single Friday the 13th throughout the whole year, anywhere that there was a Friday the 13th, they'd watch Friday the 13th movies. All right,
I did that when I was a kid because they used to always be on cable TV.
My first cut is 8 inches, and instead of playing the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 problem, I'm just going to 5 is my ruler plus 3 on my board, and that makes 8. So I'm just going to use my mat as my measurements, just like this, and I'm going to go ahead and use my brand new rotary cutter. Oh, so smooth of a cut. So there's 8 inches for that, and then I'm also going to be needing from this same fabric an 8 by 4. Okay, I can cut that from here because this is not by fat quarter. I taught you guys how to do it out of fat quarter, but I'm doing it out of yardage.
I don't know how I did that. Can you make that go away?
There you go.
Thank you.
Yeah, that can be cut from here. That next cut can be
Hi,
cut from there.
Darlene. Darlene says hello again.
Hello. All right, so I'm going to move that out of the way. And I'm going to cut my first piece. We're going to trim off this selvage first. This is me trying not to stand up because my legs are kind of tired. So I figured while I'm bored, I can actually do something. All right, so I'm going to line this up on.
Angel says her son is named Jason. They try to at least watch one movie on his day. That's pretty good.
That's funny. All right, so I'm going to line this up on the start, and I'm cutting it at 20 inches. So I'm just going to go ahead and put this down right here. And I'm going to cut on the 20-inch mark. And then another cut from this same fabric is going to be 8-inch by 4 1/4. So here's 4 and there's 1/4. So these are inside wallet pieces. So the first one was 8 by 20. The next one is 4 1/4. Any more inside ones? That's the outside. Nope, the next is just interfacing. All right, so. No, because I made a second one. I did. Why is it not on here?
I don't know.
Aha, there we go. 7.5. So I need to come over 7.5 inches. Why am I not looking at my paper? All right, that's 5, 6, 7, and this is a half. Oops, let's line it up better than that though. Right there, 7.5 by 8. All right, so my inside of the wallet pieces are 20 by 8 inch, 8 inch by 4 1/4, and an 8 inch by 7.5 inch. I'm going to move that out of the way for now. And we're going to cut some interfacing because we need to iron all this, Mr. Scotty.
Yep. Mine's ready when you
and
are.
get it flat so the interfacing sticks to it. But for now, we can cut the interfacing pieces, which are 19 inches by 7 inches. So this whole thing is about 21 inches.
Hi, Vicky.
It's about 20 and a quarter. We're gonna cut over 7 inches, and I can see my lines through here. So right here is 7, 10 to 17. And cut right there, right there. So there's a 7-inch cut off of there by 19-inch. I didn't want to stand, but I had to for that because it's a whole entire piece. So I'm going to cut this by 19 inches. So it's 7 by 19 for my interfacing, and then another interfacing piece is, I gotta find it, 7.5 by 3 1/4. Right. 7.5 by 3 1/4 literally is going to be doing it this way. 7 and 3 1/4. 1, 2, 3. There we go. So we're just going to cut it out right here. And then I'll cut the top pieces as needed. All right, that's for my inside piece, and then we're going to be marking everything once we iron it onto the fabric.
Where do you want me to put these spatters when I'm done?
We're going to leave them right there because we're going to put the interfacing on.
Okay.
And I know, can you guys, well, I guess I'll just have him hand me the iron when he's done making them flat.
Why? What are you going to do?
I put the interfacing on.
I can iron.
Well, I want them to see what I'm doing.
Oh.
All right, so I'm going to lay this down on here, make it a little bit more flatter.
Hi, Teresa.
And I'm going to take my 19-inch by 7-inch piece, and I'm going to center it on here. So I should have about 1/2 inch on both sides, and I should have about 1/2 inch on top and bottom in the direction that I'm laying it in. And I'm just eyeballing it. It's never going to be perfect no matter what you do, unless you know what you're doing.
Hi, Gia.
Put this on here. I press it from the back first so that it can stay nice and tacky, and then turn it to the front and iron out all the wrinkles in case it makes any. Just like that. All right, and we're going to turn it to this side. And I think it's this piece right here that gets it right there. So we'll leave that out of the way for a second and just do the markings first. So I need a friction pin. So I'm going to use a friction pin, and we're going to do some markings on the back side of this because we're going to be folding. I'm going to start by grabbing my ruler, and I know I'm just going to bring it right here so I have a nice flat surface. My first marking is going to be at 2 3/4 inches from the edge. So from the edge of the fabric, I'm coming over 2 3/4 inches.
Hi, June.
And I'm going to make a mark with my friction pin. I'm going to go over it quite a bit so that way it doesn't totally disappear when a little bit of heat gets next to it. And then from that mark, I'm going to make another mark at 1 3/4. So 1 3/4, I'm going to make another mark. And then another mark is going at 2 1/2. And I'm also making sure that I'm straight up here and straight down here with my ruler as I'm putting these markings in. And then my next mark is at 2 inches. And I'm always lining my ruler up with those marks for those of you that are new to this. and I've never made a bag before. All right, and what we're gonna do, close that and put this right back up here. We're gonna start by making this an accordion fold. So my first fold is gonna be in towards it. So since I kind of creased it a little bit when I was using my friction pin along here, I'm going to crease it on there, and I'm going to use the iron to permanently make that fold stay down. Just like this. And I'm keeping it on the edge because I don't want to take any of my other marks away. And then the next fold goes, you turn the whole fabric. So you start your first fold in, wrong sides together, flip it, and we're going to go right sides together, and we'll go to that second mark. It should have a little bit of crease from your friction pin. We're going to hold that down. We're going to fold it with the iron. So you should have something that looks like this with a folded up end. Now we're going to flip it back right side down and fold it wrong sides together on that next line. Again, if you use your pin back and forth, you can create like a little crease, which kind of helps. And just right there on the edge, because I don't want to take my next line away, which is going to happen right side up. We're going to fold to that next line that we made, just like this. And now I can iron over the whole entire thing. Just like that. So it should be nice and crisp, and you should have a unit that looks like. And what I'm going to do is I'm using orange thread because I figured it's festive for Halloween to use a pumpkin color thread. So I'm going to measure 4 inches into the center, which the thing is 8 inches wide, so it's pretty easy to find the 4-inch mark. And I'm going to draw a line exactly at 4 inches in the center. And I keep forgetting that these pins push on the hook, not the end like most pins. So I'm going to put a mark at 4. And then I'm going to come down a little bit to the next part and mark at 4. And then I'm going to come down just a little bit more and mark at 4. So I have a line that I can follow. Again, marking at the 4 and at the 4. And then I'm just going to make a straight line from that now.
Hi, Mary.
Welcome, everybody. All right, so now I have a mark down the center. We're going to take this over to the sewing machine and make our first piece of sewing.
Should I get the iron out of your way?
No, it's fine. Just leave it right there.
Okay.
I have a disaster going on, but it's fine. So now I'm going to stitch. So here's that top part of the fold. I'm literally going to stitch from that top part because it's the credit card side. We're going to go put the needle down in right above it, stitch 1, stitch back, stitch down. Because you're moving your credit cards in and out all the time, you definitely need to put a little bit extra stitching in that section. So I'm going to go ahead and put my needle down right before the lip, take a stitch in, take a stitch out. And I'll do it 3 times, just like that. And then stitch the rest of the way to the next one, do the same thing. In and out, just a little bit of that area where the credit card is always going to be sliding in and out. And then straight off. And then I'll go ahead and take my little snips. Little magnetic thing is sticking to everything. Snip away my start thread. And you should have a unit that looks like this with flaps, 2 of them on each side, like this. And it's sewed in the center. Now what we're going to do is we're going to turn it to where the side with nothing on it is on my right side, and we're going to take this extra little piece and we're going to hook it to it, right sides together on the end that does not have the credit card slots. Right sides together, and I'm going to sew 1/4 inch down this side right here, and that's why we made sure that the interfacing on this sits in more. We're going to hook this to this right here with a 1/4 inch seam. I'm going to back stitch only because it's a wallet and I can. You know, I have this tape on here like everybody else does now to help me, and for some strange reason I still can't sew straight along it. It's horrible, right? All right, now I'm going to go ahead and press that seam. going to fold that seam in. Put it on this side of me. I'm going to make it nice and flat along the seam. I want it literally on the edge of that seam.
Hi, Karen. Karen wants to know, is this your own pattern?
Yes, this is my own pattern. And there's an actual tutorial directly to this, and I'm still pretty much secondary tutorial for you guys. All right, and now we're going to take this. Oops, let's move this out of the way so I can see my instructions. I think it's 1 inch in the middle. Let me open the wallet to make sure. I'm pretty sure it was 1 inch. Oh, it's 1.5 inch. Okay. Oops, that doesn't go there. That goes there. Look at me, going crazy, right? All right. So now we're going to fold this piece that, oh, first we're going to sew it. Sew it first. So we're going to sew along that edge right there of that one that we just made. 1/8 inch seam. I have a bad habit of forgetting those steps. Okay. Now we're going to fold this in. We're going to use our little ruler and put it at the 1.5 inch mark on the lip of this. Okay, so put the 1.5 inch mark on that, like this, and then fold this fold that we just created right up to it, to the edge of your ruler, and then we're going to press it down. Just like this. Oops, press the wrong button. Squeak is going to make a little squeak. And you know what I forgot to do again, because I have a bad habit of this? I forgot to stitch down the tops of these right here.
Can you do that now?
No, well, yeah, I can. See what I get for my brain, let me tell you guys.
Before you get too far into
Before I get too far, I'm going to untack just these edges right here so that I could sew this edge. And then I'll just come back and restitch it. It's no big deal. And then just this other edge, because I have a bad habit of forgetting these steps. I'm just going to go ahead and I just unstitched a little bit. Before you stitch down your 4 inch center, I got ahead of myself. Stitch down the tops of the folds. So I'm going to go ahead and just kind of fold this out of the way so it doesn't get caught. Right across the top. And then I'm going to fold that out of the way and stitch across the top of this one. Right at the edge, or 1/8 of an inch in. There we go. And now I can just fix this real quick where I unpicked it. There we go. There we go. There, it's fixed now. So you can fix things if you don't get too far and you remember it, fix it. All right, so now it should be correct. Stitched across the top of this. It's now folded in, just like that. And then it's stitched in again now so that the folds are there permanently. And now we're going to make the second piece, which is this. So we're going to take this one. Let's make sure what number it's at. So that's the 7.5 angle, and this should be the 8 inch. Yep. It's a good thing I have this ironing station. So I'm going to line this. First I'm going to fold it in half like this. Wrong sides together and folding it in half. The 8 inches, the top and bottom, so I folded it on the 7.5 inch. This makes the secondary pocket in the wallet. I'm going to fold it first, and then I'm going to stick my interfacing in there right up to the top, but a 1/2 inch away from both sides, just like this. And then I'm going to fold it onto itself. Oops, come on, stay right at the top. Just like that. And now I'm going to glue it down. I don't even know what side I glued it onto. All right. That is nice and glued. Let's top stitch that on the fold. Don't you guys love how I just mess everything up, but I still find a creative way to find where I was?
Hi, Tony.
Welcome everybody joining in. Thank you for joining in. Hope you're having fun. It's Friday the 13th. All right, I'm gonna repress that because I was all like bendy with it. We're gonna take this piece now that we just sewed and we're gonna place this on the edge. So this edge, we're gonna literally place this right next to the other one on the edge, creating a second pocket. And now what we're going to do is just stitch down the sides of this so that it stays in place. I'm going to just give it a stitch on both sides.
Hello, Craft with Love. She
Just
says, "Hi,
right like
Tiffany,
an
I
eighth,
caught you live."
an eighth of an inch away. It's better than using pins, so I'm just going to stitch it.
Hi, Tyler. Tyler says you're a breath of fresh air.
Awesome.
I like that.
I just left this open. It's no big deal on that because that's going to get sewn down anyway. So the inside of our wallet is almost complete. We need to trim it real quick. I made it oversized because some people's machines are different and some people's folds are going to be different. So it's never going to be perfect no matter who makes this. All right. I'm going to start by trimming off of this side, and we're taking this to 8 inch by 8 1/4 inch. So that's 8 1/2 inch ruler. Let's grab that. All right. 7, that's 8 inches tall by 8 1/4 inches wide. And I'm going to go ahead and take this excess off. I don't need it now. Actually, yeah, right. I'm going to take a smidge off of both sides, mostly off this side, but I'm going to take a smidge off the other side too. All right, so I took a little bit off of that one, probably about 1/2 inch, and now I'm going to line it up on the 1/4 inch mark and take off of that. There we go. So, I mean, it's literally, I mean, I cut it big purposely so that that can be done. So now the inside of the wallet is complete. Let's do the outside, which we're going to fussy cut. Good thing I have this. Out of this, which we need to press real quick. This wallet literally goes so fast. I could probably make more than one in a video. I'm just going to iron the section I want to fussy cut out. And I think I want this side right here. I want mainly these ghosts. So if it ends up on this dead end part in a piece of that ghost, I don't mind. But I mainly want these ghosts. And we also got to get out some magnetic snaps and make that little part for the flap. And the flap's being made from this, so I can actually cut like this, maybe. Actually, that might be a good idea to cut this little section out for the flap. Or this, if this is still in there. Let's see how well we can fussy cut this without wasting too much fabric, because I can get more than one
Hi, Brenda.
wallet
Hi,
out
Glennie.
of it. All right, let's see. We want 8 by 8 1/4. So here's 8. It ends with those words. Let's take it to right. I don't want to waste too much fabric. Let's go right here to right there. There. Right there.
Kylie says she needs to make more of your wallets. They're so good.
And then we're going to turn this around and line up my 8 1/4 and my 8 inch mark. Oops, we need 8 1/4, so I need to come over 1/4 inch more with my width because it's going sideways on the wallet. There we go. 8 1/4 right there by 8 inches right there. Right there, right there, right there. Keep saying right there.
Right there.
It's got to be right there. Actually, this one, I should have cut it bigger because I was going to quilt it, but it's going to shrink a little bit. I just thought about that right now. Took a minute to think about that, but I just thought about it. Let's see how much it shrinks from quilting it. Or actually, I'll just put interfacing on this one and quilt the next one because I don't want to lose the size. I really don't. I didn't think about that till just now when I realized that's what I was going to do was quilt these. My interfacing, so this is 8 inch by 8 1/4 inch for the outside of the wallet. So the interfacing is 7 1/2 by 7 3/4. 7 1/2 and 7 3. I don't even have 3/4 mark on this ruler anymore. It's gone. Let's just assume that it's right there. Oh, get out of there. Yeah, my Fiskars rulers are kind of, I started with them and in about 5, because I didn't get them rulers right away, but in about, I'd say 5 years, it's most of the lines are gone all the way down here in this whole bottom section. It's so hard to read. All right, so let's go ahead and adhere this onto this. And then we're going to get out a magnet because we don't want to forget that. And we're going to cut the flat part too. So this goes this way. So I have it 8 inches this way by 8 1/2 inches this way. I'm going to, and then the interfacing is going 7 3/4 this way, 8 1/2 this way. I mean 7 1/2 this way. Let's put this on here. Turn it around. Because I'm having it going sideways, not up and down. If that makes any sense. So it'll be on the wallet like this. That way when it's folded in half, you'll see the ghosts. And on this side, you'll see the pumpkins. You know what I mean? All right, let's cut out the flap for the snap. We're going to do that from here, from this. It needs to be 4 inches by 5.5 inches. So let's see if I can get another 8
Kelly
something.
Girl says, love watching you create stuff.
Not going to get 4 from that.
Did you hear me?
Yes.
That's pretty cool.
Yep, I'll get 4 from this side. So I'm going to cut it from this guy right here. I want 4 inches by 5 1/2 inches. We're going to cut it from this little corner right here. So I'm going to turn my ruler around so I can read it. We're going to cut like really close to these guys because I really want them in, but this will fit on another wallet. Yep, perfect. Perfect. I'm hoping I'll be able to fold it that correctly, you know? All right, let's make it the correct. I never fussy cut, guys. This is like so rare for me to do this. So I need it 4 inches by 5 1/2 inches. We're going to come down. We're going to line this up. And just make it 5 1/2 inches. I think I'm going to take off this top because I already took off that bottom. 5 1/2 right here. All right. And we're going to put some interfacing in it after we fold it in half. It's back and forth with this little thing, huh? So what I'm going to do is flatten it first. I'm going to make a center fold. It's not really going to line up like I had thought, but that's okay. Now I'm going to fold the 2 sides in. I'm going to fold one side in like this. And this is in the 5 1/2 direction, by the way. And then I'm folding this side in to it. And then I need to put like a 1 and almost 2 inch. Is this big enough? I have a little piece on the floor. It's just randomly everywhere, let me tell you. It needs to be a little bit smaller.
Just randomly. Randomly,
just laying on the floor. Right there. It's about 1 7/8, I think, about in space. And then we're going to cut off a little piece of this to make it the perfect length. Right there. And then we're also going to cut off for the wallet snap to stay in there perfectly. And once we put it in on here, we're also going to put one in on here. So that way the snap goes on nicely. So let's bring this back up and put these inside of here. So it'll be kind of cool. The snaps will still have candy on them. I mean, it didn't end up perfect, but it'll still have the candy. All right, so let's put these in here. They're a little bit like, they're almost a 1/4 inch away from the edge, so that was like perfect. So I'm gonna put them in like this. And just heat it up.
Jill asks, how many walkers have you made? Great gifts. I think she means wallets, though.
Wallets, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, I made 7, and then this will be number 8. And I haven't made very many. All right, so now that I have that, I'm going to fold it in half, and I'm going to press it. And then, as it's nice and pressed, I'm going to stitch across this top real quick. I'm just going to do an 1/8 of an inch stitch across the top and snip away any excess thread. Because I'm going to stitch it again on the sides to seal it, but we're going to get a magnetic snap. So I need 2 washers. Sometimes it's hard to tell how many I have in my fingers. And then I need 1 female and 1 male.
Gwenny is curious, is this your pattern?
Yes, this is my pattern. All right. And notice I keep everything right here under my desk, so it's really easy. There's so many drawer units under here, really easy to keep track of everything. So now, even though it's sewn across that top, I did that on purpose because we want to see.
Hi, MJ.
Let's see. I'm going to have it on this side. Yeah, we're going to put it on the snap on this side. So right here. I want the snap to be right on this, right here. So I'm going to open this up.
Gwenny says, Super Tiffany, you are talented.
And I'm going to find my little guy right here. And I'm going to put it on the edge to hold it down. I'm going to grab the washer that fell off the floor, and I'm going to lay it on here, almost butting it up to that piece. I'm literally butting it up to the ruler, which is sitting at the fold, but it's not completely on the ruler. And I'm going to make a mark, and I don't think I'm going to see this because it's black. No, I'm not going to see that one. I'm just going to leave it right there and poke the holes from here. So I'm just going to hold it in my hand because I kind of can't see that marker. So I'm just going to poke my holes literally by holding this in place. Just very carefully poking the holes through the fabric and sliding my seam ripper through it. And I'm going to put, what side have I been putting everything on? I've been putting the male side on the bottom and the female side on the top. So female is going to go on this top part.
Can you help?
On the outside, I'm going to poke it through the fabric very carefully. No. Right there into my section that I just made it, and then I'm going to put my washer on. I'm also going to make sure that it went through both pieces of fabric, not just one. Put the washer on. And I have it just directly into this, not on the inside, because I think I showed you guys on the video to open it up and put it in there, but I'm just putting it directly on the outside because this is getting sealed anyway. So we're going to push these open. And just so that nothing ever pokes, I'm going to take this piece of interfacing right here. I'm going to place it over it and I'm literally going to press it onto there permanently so it stays over that part of the magnet. Be nice not to have this magnet right next to the iron though. Could you imagine getting a magnet stuck to your metal iron? That would suck. And I have it, the magnet piece sticking down. All right, so now that's in there. It's right there on the edge where we want it. So you can see it's sitting in there. It's covered up. So if anything ever was to break loose or something, I doubt that's ever going to happen, but it just covers the magnet so that it's not directly against the other fabric.
Joy asks, what size are your magnetic snaps?
These are 1 inch, I think. 3/4 inch. They're 3/4 inch magnets. I knew they were small. I'm going to sew down both sides now. Now that I already sewed the top, got the magnet on, now I can sew down the sides. Because if we were to try to sew that top part of it next to the magnet, you would have had to put your magnet further down and then sew. But our feet of our machine won't fit next to that. So that's why I've been putting the magnet on after the top stitch and then do the side stitches. And I don't think it doesn't make any difference. It's the same either way. So I'm going to back stitch and come stitching right there, exactly 1/8 of an inch from the edge. And then I'm going to do the same thing on this opposite side, 1/8 of an inch from the edge. I am back stitching.
Hi, Penny. Penny, did you watch the video earlier that Tiff made? You were talked about, but not by name.
And then I have a little, I should remember to pull my threads. I always forget to pull the thread. It always bunches up right there from the bobbin thread. I hate that. It looks so tacky, but I'm going to leave that now. Looks good. All right. So now I have my flap. Let's find out where we want it on here. So we want the wallet. So when the wallet is together, it sits like this. We're going to find out what side we want it on. And I've been putting this snap on. So these are the parts I don't write down. I forget every time. We've been putting the snap on the side that the credit cards are on. So we want the snap to land somewhere at these ghosts. How far down does it sit? I don't want it to land over the ghosts completely. Maybe the ghost can be the back side and the snap can land on this side. That's what I think I'm going to do. Because I want the ghosts to be like super awesome. Because they glow in the dark. So why not? All right. So we're going to go to the center of this piece. And we're having the snaps come to this side right here. So I'm going to find the center.
Awesome. Penny watched your video earlier.
I'm just going to make a little crease so I know that that's the center. Just like that.
Did you hear me, honey?
Yeah. We're going to come grab, actually this ruler's better, 1.5 inches down from the top. So here's your 8-inch wide. Here's your 8¼ inches long. I'm on the 8¼ inches long side because that's how I cut mine. And I'm going to line my ruler up on the 1.5 inch mark. And then I'm going to grab this feller right here, the magnetic snap part. And I'm going to find my washer and I'm going to lay this on my center right here at the crease. And I'm going to mark my 2 sides just like that. I'm going to move that out of the way. I have 2 marked things. I'm going to go ahead and very carefully poke and rip just ever so slightly. You don't really have to like go crazy with it or else you're going to take your seam ripper all along the whole fabric. We're going to go to the front side. I'm going to push the male washer part through.
Jill says, I'll have to watch your video on the wallet tutorial again. It's super cute, but you're flying through it.
Oh, yeah, that's why. So I have, okay, it's not that I want to rush with you guys, but as a creator, I want to try to fit as much as I can into one video, and playbacks are always available. And you guys can pause them as you're at those steps and then press pause, go to the next step, press pause. If I was to take my time, I'm not saying you guys are slow, by no means, but if I was to go slower and not speed up. My videos would always be 3 or more hours long. So I do it everything fast paced. Now in videos, I have to kind of keep with it and not get off the mark. You know what I mean? And try to keep them fast paced. So that way the video has everything explained into it, but I'm not going into, you know, I'm not doing anything else that's going to throw people off from watching my videos. So we still want to bring in people, and some people just don't like watching 3-hour long videos. I've already realized that, have been making videos for almost 5 years. So I'll put my little thing on here, not to just stop the conversation, but I'm still working. So I'm going to put this little piece on here. I'm going to heat it up so that it stays and it's covering it permanently. So it's on there permanently, covering up the magnet. Ooh, I made that magnet hot and it just touched my hand. So it's sitting there in the center. Everything's nice and pressed.
Jill says,
Just
I'm
like
a
that.
pauser for sure.
Yeah,
Lucille says she watched the first one and wrote it all down.
that's good. Good, good, good. All right, now it's time to put it together. I mean, it literally goes that fast. This is a fast wallet. All right, so I'm going to turn it the way I want it. I wanted the magnet to land on this side. So that means this goes, oh God, this is the part that I always forget. Fold and sew, add snap. The snap's going to sit right here on that side. Hold on. I got to do it outside first because I always forget. My brain is not like you guys. I have a hard time. Oops, it's going to go that way, right? So when it closes, the snap is on that side. Yep. So it's going to go this way. So when it flips out, okay. Aha. All right.
Penny says she loves your Halloween fabric.
Thank you. We're going to see at the end. I'm going to turn the lights. We're going to make it glow purposely and turn the lights off so you guys can see. All right. Snap.
Yeah, it glows in the dark.
Faces down like this on the opposite side that I want this snap piece to land on. I want my male snap side on the side that the credit cards go on, and I want my female snap side face down inside of the wallet on the side that the cell phone or money or whatever you want to use in these goes on. And then I'm going to lay this guy right side down on top of it. I'm going to make sure that this is perfectly centered by just putting an 8-inch ruler on here.
Hi, Patty.
And it's 8 inches. I'll make sure the center of it is at the 4-inch mark, and it is. And I am going to.
Lucille tells you not to worry that her brain is the same way.
Yeah, I have to pause it. I've made quite a few, just like my bags, and I still have to stop when it comes to zippers, magnets, any kind of like accessories. I still have to stop, pause, and put 2 and 2 together because I mess it up. All right. Oops, I'm showing you guys. So we're going to lay the ruler on here. My 4-inch mark is center. That means this is laying between 5 and 3, and
You
it
guys
works
want me to bring the
perfect.
camera on the side of her? I can bring it in closer.
Then I'm putting my right side down top part of my wallet, or the outside of my wallet, right on top of that. And I'm going to put some snaps in it so that nothing gets moved out of place, because I definitely don't want that to end up out of place. And then I'm going to snap all the way around. I'm just using my binding clips because they're perfect for wallets. All right. And then, oops, let's put one more on there. Right there. I'm going to sew all the way around, except I'm going to leave an opening to flip my wallet, and I think I'm going to do it from this bottom section. So I'm going to leave this side open. So I'm going to just sewing a 1/4-inch seam. That's it. This doesn't take that. Most wallets have big seams, but those big seams, most of the time you cut them away. We're just going to go with the small seam because it's just cotton fabric. And I keep saying I'm going to make my next one with a vinyl outside. I should have done the vinyl outside this time. But I had the Halloween fabric. So, all right, let's do this.
You can do the vinyl one next.
Yeah. I can do vinyl next. So what I'm going to do is start about right here. I want to leave a hand space because we want to be able to flip this thing. If you don't leave a hand space, you're not flipping it. It's going to be really hard. You're going to be shoving it. I want to leave a good chunk open. So from this pin to this pin, I'm going to sew all the way around with a 1/4 inch seam. So I'm going to start from this side, and I'm going to attempt to stay at a 1/4 inch seam. It's really hard because even with this thing here, I'm still like out of it. So I'm going to back stitch, pull it around, and I'm just going to go at it on this side. I'm going to back stitch. I like to back stitch the corners because they're going to get clipped off, and I want those to stay completely closed from now until forever.
Jill says she likes watching you jam.
And you can hear that's where I was going through the more than 2 layers of fabric. There was 6 layers of fabric right there. And only a 1/4 inch, a 1/4 in from the edge will I go on this one. There we go. And I have my turning point. So I don't need these guys anymore. Let's hope that that snap is correct because I don't know how many times I've screwed up before. I'm going to go ahead and take my scissors and I'm going to cut the corners off, except I'm not cutting into the stitching. I'm just cutting close to it. That way it sits nice and flush in there. Oops. We want it to be flat. I kind of curve them as I'm cutting. I think it lays better inside there. Gives me more poking, nice poke. We need my shank or my Hera marker.
You actually said shank this time.
Yeah. We're going to stick our hand in. Gotta have your hand space. And we're going to find the magnetic part and we're going to grab onto it and pull through. We're just going to flip it the other way. We're going to stick the shank in there, poke out the corners. I should be able to get them nice and crisp, but not always. There we go. That's perfect. I'm going to grab this side, poke it out, get it nice and crisp. I'm trying to be careful. I'm not pushing too hard. I don't want to push through my stitching.
Shirley says a day without Tiffany is a day without sunshine.
Aw.
That's nice. Jill says it would be fun to watch you compete in a who can finish a quilt first competition. You would kick butt.
Yeah. No,
Vicky says she misses your night hours.
Yeah, I know a lot of you do.
We were just on sewing the other night. You could have went live.
All right, so I'm just using the edge of the Hera marker to push this seam out really good. So that way it's nice and flat. And I did put the snap in correctly. So it's going to land where it's supposed to. I don't know how many times they've ended up the wrong way and on this side. And I'm like, oh, how do I do that? But it happens. I'm just going to push on this seam because it's easier than trying to roll it at the iron. Okay. It's nice and flat. This side, we're going to roll it under just like this, and we're going to press it first. And I didn't yank on it too hard. I left myself plenty of room, so I don't have any bowing or anything. It's not going to, you know, sometimes when you flip a bag or a wallet or you flip any project that requires flipping that you start getting bowing when you're trying to fold in your seam. This doesn't have any bowing because remember we put that interfacing on 1/2 inch smaller than the project. So what's happening is the actual outside part is folding in on the edge of that piece of interfacing. So it's literally nice and hard and flush, and it's doing it on both of those. See, it literally folds right in at it. So you choose a side that you can see that the best, and you won't have any bowing or puckering, because it does happen. And I know because I've made plenty of bags and now plenty of wallets. So I'm going to go ahead and give this a good press over the whole entire thing because we're going to be stitching all the way around it. Ooh, this is going to be so cool with the spider webs on the inside. And making sure that all of my sides are purposely poked out nicely. I don't know why I was about to say purposely. Everything's so flat and flush. We're going to take this over the machine. I'm going to change my stitch length to about a 3, and I'm going to start with closing this side off. So I'm going to start about right here. I'm going to sew all the way around, not this, which is sew right in front of it, all the way around. So we're going to change the stitch length, and then wallet number 1 of Halloween fabrics will be done. So cute too, like it just it's laying perfect. This is better than my last. So I'm going to stitch 1/8 of an inch away, right along the edge, all the way around. So I'm going to go right there. I sealed the edge off. You're going to feel lots of layers going through. If you didn't put a new needle in, you should have, because you're going through lots of layers. Because I'm literally at 1/8 of an inch, you're sewing through all of your seam allowance as well. So the whole fold of the seam allowance. So there's 4 pieces there, plus however many with all these. So just know you're sewing through like 10 layers of fabric. And the interfacing is cut just the size too. So there's like 1 layer of that within everything. Literally sewing right in front. And down this side. Oops, almost. And I did go off. I was going to say almost went off, but nope, I did. Right up to my previous stitch. I'm going to break the thread. And I'm going to snip all my little excess boo-boo here. Went off the edge, but I didn't mean to. And then snip that. And snip my starting thread. And there we have it. So now, I don't have any credit cards in here to show you, but the true test, oh, it's dusty. True test is a dusty cell phone.
Jill has a question. She says, speaking of new needles, Tiffany, do you purchase needles from the store or online? I need to get more.
I purchase mine online. I don't buy them in store. So there we have it. It's got an iPhone 8 in it to hold its shape. And look,
That's
there
pretty
on
cool.
that side.
That is pretty
So when
cool.
you open it, obviously I'm going to drop my phone out, but when you open it, you have your whole entire Halloween theme.
That is pretty cool.
And then the inside has the spider webs. So without anything in it, it should fold nicely. I really wanted to see the difference with the quilting it, but oops, I forgot that part.
You didn't iron.
So yes, let's move it out of the way. All right, let's.
Squeak had his 10 minutes of fame.
How long did this take me to make?
Hour and a half.
Well, I talked for a little while.
Yes,
first,
without all the
so
talking, you
you
can
can see it
in an
doesn't
hour.
take long to make. Lays nice. So what we're gonna do is we're going to turn that main one off. I'm gonna go take this over right now
Jill
to
wants to know your needle site.
my needles, Superior Threads. I get needles from Superior Threads. I buy the Oregon needles. I'm in front of the light right now, like purposely over lighting it so that it really glows.
Yeah, we're going to show you guys that it glows in the dark.
Yeah.
So give us a second.
I want to show you guys the glowing because it's so cool. So it's sitting in front of the light for a second, and then I'm going to come in front of the camera and then reach over and turn. Here we go.
It's glowing.
Look
That
at
is awesome.
that, guys. You can see the pumpkin, the ghosts. You can see a little pumpkin right there, which was the center of the little
That is
bat
so
thing.
Cool.
You can see the other guy that he's trying to sneak over here, the little sneaky guy, but oh,
Hi,
they're starting to
Rose.
fade for the camera.
Everybody's saying it's so cool. Emily says so cute.
So if you can't
neat.
find your wallet in your purse, these are the better ones to have because it glows in the dark. Oh, hey, it's in my wallet. I can find it because it's glowing.
Lisa wants to know where you get your rotary blades.
That's funny. Rotary blades I get from, oh my goodness, Amazon, eBay, mainly eBay. Just wherever is the cheapest. Scott usually buys them because he finds the cheapest deal for the specific rotary cutter that we're putting them in. He usually goes on and finds them because we're broke. So we have to sales, deals. That's what we need. So
Callie wants to see a close up of the.
oh yeah, I forgot to show the whole
the
inside and stuff. Yeah, you can. Duh. I'm all like trying to show you guys just the glow in the dark part. So it landed like this. So the outside is like this, and then the snap opens, so you can see. And then the inside, I don't have any credit cards in here, but you have the 4. Let me see if I can't do this right. You have 2 slots here and 2 slots here. And almost every single wallet I've made, they fit perfectly, so you don't have to worry about them not fitting. And then this side, you can put, like I already did, the iPhone on the back side. And then the front side, you can put your cash, or you can put your checkbook on this side and your credit cards. You know what I mean? And then you can always, just write a quick check, blah, 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 and then close your wallet, type deal. And since it's a magnetic snap, it always finds its way closed no matter, what. So there we have it. So adorable. I love the ghosts. So great. So great. So yeah, and I didn't iron it afterwards either, or put my stitch down the center on some of these wallets. I've been putting a stitch down the center, but these guys have this on the back, so I didn't stitch it, or else I would iron it center like this.
We have an Autumn Witch on here. It's a cool name since we're making the
Yeah.
Halloween thing. She asked, what kind of interfacing do you use?
Oh, Pelon 911 is what I used on this.
And hello,
right here.
Autumn Witch. Glad you can join us.
There it is, up to the camera so you guys can see. This is what I buy. It's that I buy the whole entire bolt online or at Walmart if they have it. But
we can see it better.
On all the other wallets, I've been doing a final stitch from here to here at the folds so that it gives it like this perfect crease right here so that it always folds. But on this one, I don't want to because I don't want to stitch through this right here. So I'm just going to leave it like that. So it still folds like it's supposed to either way. And I think it's super cute.
Are you going to have all your wallets on the show on Sunday?
All the ones.
Curious.
If I make any more, because I'm really bored, I might make a couple more because they go together pretty quick. I have like a lot of prepping to do for that because there were quilts added to the stack of for sale quilts, and I haven't even wrote down anything about them. I haven't wrote down their measurements because they have final measurements, which I haven't even done. And some of them I have to see because I don't remember if I've been putting tags on everything. I'm pretty sure I have, but I do tend to forget the tag thing very often.
Well, either way, she wants to buy one to send to her granddaughter in North Carolina. So she wants to know if you're going to have any on the show.
Hopefully I'll make a couple more of these because I pulled this purposely out to do this. So
well, you have a bunch over there.
Yeah, and then I have some other ones, but I didn't know which one Lexa wanted. Remember, I made one for Maxine. I didn't know.
Well, you can ask Lexa. Yeah, you have so 2.5 days.
I'll have some more. None of them are going to have any clasps on them if I make them with the Halloween fabric because I don't want to waste those on Halloween fabric. I'd rather waste them on something else. So they'll just be plain like this. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do. And I'm also going to attempt to quilt one because I really want to see the difference between using cotton batting inside of these, if it makes it a little bit more, if it sits differently is pretty much what I want.
Callie Girl wants to know if you have written instructions and notes on a blog or on Facebook.
In the actual tutorial I did on making these, I think I wrote it all in the description. I'm not sure. You can take a screenshot though right now. Let me do my best to hold my paper to the screen. You'll have to follow the video to know how my scribbles go together. Let's see if you can see. So you could pause the video and take a screenshot of that if you want. I'm going to hold it for another couple seconds so you guys can see. My scribbles for everything I do started out with paper like this, making folds.
Hi, Sunita. Sunita wants
With
to know
paper.
the name of the video.
It's making a wallet video. And then it went to scribbles. And then it went to more scribbles and ended with a good, nice, decent writing. So that way when I was tutorialing it for you guys, that it was written really clean. You know? Because I tend to make a mess of my writing. And that's another reason why I haven't wrote patterns. Because sometimes I don't even understand my own stuff like a month later. So I do my best to write it down more clearly, but it never ends up that way. So, all right. So that's it. Anybody got any questions? I'm going to get off of here, and I don't know. I'll probably make like 1 or 2 more, but not right this second because I need to eat something. So I'm just going to leave my mess right here, but yeah, I think it's fun. It's cute, and they glow in the dark. So I didn't know what else to do with the Halloween fabric because I have a layer cake for a Halloween quilt when we finally, you know, get close to Halloween. But other than that, I have no plans for holidays. But it was Friday the 13th, so that's scary too.
Heather's curious. She noticed that you used the Martelli cutter for fabric and the other cutter for the wadding. Why is that?
Okay, I rotate with whatever I cut. I'm left and right-handed, so I can cut with my left hand and my right hand. So depending on my position, I just grab whatever's right there. Technically, this is hanging on the wall. The only reason why this is down is because I I trimmed a quilt from being on the long arm yesterday. So I needed this one because this is what I trim long arm quilting with. So it was still down here. So that's probably why I grabbed it. There's no really reason. I typically use the Martelli. And I really wanted to see when I was cutting how this new 60 cut, and it cuts fantastic. So I'm going to have to test it on like super multiple layers.
Well, you do a lot of layers at once.
Yeah.
That's normal for you. So I'm sure it will come in handy.
Yep. All right, guys. So any other questions?
Not yet.
No?
Anyone else? Going once? Going twice?
Don't forget, if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. It really helps me out. Don't forget to give me a like. That's that little thumbs up thing, not the thumbs down thing below this video. If you hit the thumbs down, it still helps me either way. But, you know, the liking just shows YouTube that they should show it to more people. Other than that, I don't have anything else. I'm going to make a couple more after I eat because I can just pre-cut them all out and do them all in like a, what is it called? Factory type style. What is it called? There's a word for it. My brain doesn't see it right now. Assembly line. I will assembly line my own. A couple more of Halloween ones. So
Jill says your subscribers have grown so much.
Yes, it has. And don't forget, guys, if I don't see you before then, Sunday is my quilt show / D-stash. So if you do want to purchase something, it'll be that. I'm also having my 4K giveaway. Well, I'm not having it directly on that video, but I will tell you guys how to sign up for it. And it's just homemade items is what's in the giveaway. And I'm also kind of thinking of auctioning off my Dresden quilts during Sunday's live when I'm done showing all the rest of the quilts. Because they just been sitting there in a pile folded up and they're like supposed to be hanging up being enjoyed. So we'll see if I do, but I kind of wanted to save them for their own video. But since I'm going to be on, might as well.
Teresa wants you to call it when you're done eating. Teresa Louise.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to go. Thanks for watching me make this cute little wallet. Isn't it wonderful? I love it. And I'm glad I finally
It's awesome.
started using this fabric because it's been sitting on the shelf for literally over 3 years, almost 4, because it was 4 years since I went to Bakersfield. Or 3. It was 3 years.
Do you still talk to Michelle? I haven't heard from her in a while. How's she doing?
I don't know. Ask her. She probably will watch the replay.
Okay. Well, hi, Michelle. We were thinking about you.
All right. So thank you guys. Don't forget, subscribe, like, share, and I'll see you guys all next time. Thank you for watching. Bye.
Bye.